was just like, all right, what's next? All right, what's next? I was happy to see the ESPN Plus card that led into the ESPN card. Let's go to that real quick.
Okay.
I know we got to keep it moving. Sorry, this is going to be kind of a fast episode, but I was late getting to the studio today, so we got to keep it pushing. Kelvin Davis, he fought Nelson Morales. You like Kelvin?
Kelvin's good. I've seen him fight a couple times.
Saturday night, he wasn't like...
I didn't see him on Saturday night because I was watching, I think, Showtime.
He wasn't crazy impressive to me on Saturday night. I've seen some really good fights of him.
Yeah,
I commentated one of his fights, and I saw him like in two other, and I was like, yeah, this kid's done.
Yeah, I've seen him be up and down. Like I've seen him, I believe he fought on the Canelo Saunders card early in his career. He didn't look good in that fight. Then I've seen other fights, like he had a fight on Pro Box. I don't know if you know Pro Box. They got a little, it's this new,
down in Florida, right?
Down in Florida, in Plant City. I seen him there. He looked great. He was putting his combinations together. So I think it's kind of like, goes back to Brandon Lee. He's got to really know his identity and stick to it in the ring.
I don't really get that from Kelvin.
What I mean, what I'm trying to say in so many words is like impose himself on the fight. Yeah. Because sometimes, there's fighters, a guy can be really talented and be good at what he's doing. Yeah. But he kind of just lets the rounds and the moments pass him by. He doesn't necessarily, say this is how I fight and this is how the fight's gonna go. He kind of just waits to see what the other guy's gonna do. Yeah. And then, maybe you could fight a guy who's not as good as you and the fight becomes harder than it needs to be. Yeah. So. That could have been the case yesterday or Saturday with Kelvin. But in fights previous, I felt like he was in control. You're right. Like the other night, it's Monday, by the way, if you're wondering. The other night when he fought, I felt like he fought a little closer than I would have liked him to fight. So he was giving up his size?
He wasn't really giving up his size. He just was fighting on the inside a little more, and fighting a little closer than I would like to see him fight. And maybe he just kind of fought down to the competition.
It happens too.
Yeah. It wasn't the really eventful, spectacular performance I've seen from him before.
Well, they have that phrase in boxing, you can win now and look good later, so I'm sure that's one of those for him.
Bruce Carrington, he showed back up. Shushu's the man.
I love Shushu.
Yeah. Was that a second round knockout, I think? First, yeah.
Yep.
Her dude in the first round and just kind of kept it going from there. A very structured young man that knows what he's doing and loves what he's doing.
Very disciplined.
Extremely disciplined. I think I probably love that the most about him. And you know me, I'm big on character. You know what I mean? And I like to say who you are outside the ring is who you are in the ring. So it's kind of it definitely. Yes, favoritism all the way across the board.
He doesn't have an ego either. Like Bruce, when you talk to him, like there's no ego. I know a lot of times with Instagram and things like that.
He's very New York.
Yeah.
So, but you're right, because there is no ego. So he will speak his mind. He'll say what he believes. But if you come to him with the wrong question or you struck him the wrong way, he gonna get real New York on you and come back at you. But for the most part, he's mellow tone and he just here to do his job. And I like that about him.
I got high hopes for him as maybe the next great New York fighter. New York's been kind of struggling for a top fighter for a little bit of time. A guy that really broke at the top level, I remember when I saw him fight on the Better BF Smith card, because I went to that fight last year, and he got like a crazy ovation. They really love him in Brooklyn. So I'm hoping he keeps it going and he could be someone that they top rank and eventually turn into a main event fighter.
The good thing about Shushu, and then we'll move forward, but he was vowing to get to the Olympics. And it was like they did everything right for him. So it was like he was getting the pub back home in New York. And it was like he's going off to these tournaments and things like that. And he was performing extremely well, winning and things like that. When you go home, it's hard to get the love in your home.
Oh,
it's hard to get people to get around you. New York happens to be one of those states, one of those cities, Brooklyn, New York City, that they love boxing.
Strong boxing tradition.
So they're always looking to see who's next. You know what I mean? So the good part about him is even though he didn't make it to the Olympics, he still got the pub and the love and the advertising, the promoting that it takes for him to be at this young level in his career and still have fans and love when he goes home to fight.
What he's got going for him too is I think he's the kind of fighter that the boxing purists can appreciate and that the casual fans can gravitate to as well with his style.
Yeah.
Because he gets knockouts, he's fast.
Yeah. I like him. Troy Isley back. Competitive fight. You didn't see that, right?
No, I was watching.
Competitive fight. And I know that on the telecast, they were kind of questioning his power a little bit. And kind of the only thing I wanted to say about that is, he's got to get more physically fit and
you were criticizing his power
and gain more strength. I mean, he was hitting this dude with some clean shots.
I don't think that's a fair criticism. Was it an 8-rounder?
6-rounder, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it's a fair criticism of him because he's been fighting a lot of experienced, durable guys. Like he fought Dante Stubbs. He fought Quincy Lavalas. These are guys that are not world-level fighters, but these guys know how to maneuver around the ring.
Yeah.
And Troy is the kind of fighter and puncher who's an accumulation puncher. Mm-hmm. He's a guy that breaks you down in later rounds. So if he's fighting these kind of guys in 6 or 8 rounders, more times than not, he probably won't get the stoppage. But he's the kind of fighter that when he steps up to 10 and 12s, he's gonna break a real serious threat.
It was along the way that what I would encourage
8 rounds
for Troy. Sorry?
It was an 8-round.
It was an 8-rounder? Yeah, the thing that I would encourage for Troy moving forward beyond gaining strength, which will help his power, is to create that recipe. Start working on that recipe to break guys down. My dad would always say, "Hey, we exclusive to the body this round," because he knew we'll get the head eventually. Let's get to the body to break him down. So he's gonna have to create a recipe for him. I'm not really big on numbers in terms of how many of your punches were to the head and to the body, but I think maybe setting things up to get to the body more, to break guys down, hitting them shoulders, hitting them arms a little bit more, and he'll get that along the way. But I do know that once or twice, and then I started looking at it for myself. I was like, well, that was a clean hook. And I mean, that guy's head turned and came right back. You know what I mean? So
he's doing the right things. That's the important thing. He's a really good steady fighter. But if you're looking for like the Shakur Carrington type of knockouts from him, you're not going to get them. Yeah. He's a break guys down in later rounds.
Yeah.